Next week, NASCAR returns to Darlington to celebrate Throwback Weekend. Coverage kicks off Saturday with Xfinity practice and qualifying at 10 a.m. Eastern on the CW app.
Here in Martinsville, which of the drivers, who's the best dog in it to finish this race? The final stage after Denny Hamlin took stage 2 with J.B. McMurray, Chris Myers enjoying the race, and hope you are. Denny Hamlin told us on the pre-race show this season he hasn't quite had the winning car, but he said they were on the cusp. Could this be the race for the Virginia native? Let's do a quick recap here. William Byron, who's the only driver to lead in every race this year, has not led today, had a slow pit stop, and that cost him. Chris Buescher, RFK, the problems continue here on lap 71 in a spin. And then Josh Berry, who led 40 laps, gets into Bubba Wallace as they collide on pit road. Berry later had a battery issue.
Yeah, right there.
By the incident went a lap down. Joey Logano led 13 laps, took stage 1, stage 2 belonged to Hamlin, who has led the most laps so far. Jamie, who are you looking at? Who has your eye going forward here?
I was actually looking at that dog, thinking it could have licked that hot dog off of your face earlier.
Yeah, we have hot dogs.
I would tell you that Ty Gibbs is the one I have my eye on. Had an issue on pit road, got jumbled up, lost 6 spots, but scored his first stage points, Chris, and best finish this year has been 16th at Daytona. He's having an exceptional run. Chase Elliott, though, I think is the guy that you got to keep your eye on for the win today.
All right, trying to win the first race here in 10 years. Denny Hamlin, who's won here quite a bit before. Let's see if he can hang on. Back to the guys in the booth.
Thanks, Chris. Hamlin and Elliott will restart from the front row. Toyota and Chevrolet. The whole top 5 except Chase Elliott are Toyotas. Joe Gibbs Racing had not run a lap with all 4 cars in the top 10 before today this season. So they're having generally a good day. Hamlin, Elliott, Wallace, Briscoe, Bell, Blaney, Larson, Logano, Chastain, Gibbs. Ty Gibbs lost 7 spots on pit road. Tyler Reddick lost 6. Noah Gragson lost 6.
The longer run right there that we had has got this race back sorted out. And what I mean by that, the cream is rise to the top. The 11, the 9, 23's been good. Bell back to the front with some track position. But how about Blaney? All the way from 32nd, finally established.
And this is what we want to see. We want to see the 9 and the 11 go at it. We think the 9 has a little bit better car, but having a little bit better car in second and getting by Denny Hamlin could be a tall task. Everybody's on even tires.
Well, anybody who wrote off Ryan Blaney because he started this race 32nd made their decision too soon. Very good strategy has now put him up in the top half dozen, where he dives under Chase Briscoe, trying for a top 5 spot here.
Yeah, and the farther that he's moved his
like, oh, Blaney, why you picked
it
to suck?
To handle. So
now he's running the top 10.
I like to take off speed out of Bubba Wallace and watching him up there in front of these guys. But I'm telling you, Briscoe, all these boys, they're finally, we've got, I think that long run was definitely a big part of what we're seeing right here. We're going to see another one, too.
Briscoe trying to hold off Kyle Larson now for 6 spots.
This will show us one of those no-lift shifts that Larry was talking about. Watch, foot on the floor, never lifted. As soon as that thing bumped the rev limiter, went right back into gear. That's time. You know, years past, you had to burp the gas just at least a little bit to make that shift. These guys don't have to do it anymore. Coming in hot. Chastain on the bumper of the 5.
You see that one car go ahead and feed that bumper to the 5 on the entry.
This is the first time since the start of the race that the whole field has been on equal tires. Everybody was on pit road at lap 187. Logano looking for his first top 10 of the season. Did he catch the wall here?
Yes.
He did.
I think he got moved into the wall. Probably not going to be very happy about it.
Well, you saw him shove the 54 out of the way.
And let's get an update on the cool suit issue for Ty Gibbs.
So unplug your shirt from the cookout or cool suit, and then plug that to the connector on your shirt, and it will drain out the bottom.
Yeah, there's no water coming out. Gosh, I think they just build these things just so they can break on you.
Oh, that's Riley.
Round goes Riley Herbst down in turn.
Oh, he's on fire.
1, and that'll put us under caution for the 6th time today at lap 202.
Hard here.
picture is does not make Riley look good at all.
Here's a look at what happened.
He's
Oh,
looking
3
wrapped.
wide.
Yeah, you see him up there on the outside.
Contact. And
Oh, man.
Herbst around after contact from Austin Cindric.
Ah, yes, Austin Cindric and wrecking people and not getting penalized for it. I think he just drove through him right there.
it's Penske. He didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly.
He's gonna penalize him. He's gonna penalize Riley Herbst for just spinning.
Shane Vanvert with the wave around.
He's been away in a disaster all day.
Michael Waltrip took in Reds opening day in Cincinnati Thursday to get ready for Major League Baseball heading to Bristol. The MLB Speedway Classic, presented by BuildSubmarines.com, has tickets on sale now. You'll witness history as the
aren't they playing a baseball game in Bristol?
Cincinnati Reds at Bristol Motor Speedway, August 2nd, live on Fox. You can go to MLB.com/Speedway Classic to purchase your tickets. We go to Darlington next week, and then we're in Bristol in 2 weeks.
I want to go to that.
Yeah.
Kevin. Let's go. That would be awesome. Look at this. It's so cool. Tell me that won't be awesome. Bristol, we all know that Coliseum is our house, but I think a baseball game would look pretty darn cool.
I was there when they made the announcement and had the field all laid out in the infield, listening to what they had to do. It's going to be a great event.
Change the battery.
Tell me how fun.
Home run.
Tell me how fun it is.
It's going to be a home run.
I'll be at Hickory.
We hope there's some home runs.
No, I'm going to watch a home run.
Yep. Hot dogs always taste better at the ballpark and, of course, at Martinsville.
You'll choose wisely.
So Josh Berry took the wave around. He's trying to get himself back on the lead lap. Shane Van Gisbergen, there's the WeatherTech cam on board the 88. He is the free pass car, so he will be 34th, last car on the lead lap when we restart.
T bottom, 16, that's 70, go top.
Hamlin and Wallace, two Toyotas, will be on the front row. The Chevy of Chase Elliott and the Ford of Ryan Blaney.
He has arrived. 32nd where he started.
Just past halfway, 194 laps to go. We're back to green.
Massive jump by Denny Hamlin right there. Bubba Wallace having a little bit of trouble on the outside, allows almost all of Chase Elliott all the way up beside him for second place.
Second place, nobody can clear, and actually Elliott got a better run up off the corner that time than Bubba on the outside.
Still half. Clear down, clear down.
Elliott cements second place. The first 6 are single file. Then it's Chase Briscoe on the outside, getting passed by Ross Chastain. That's 7th place. Ty Gibbs now outside Briscoe for 8th.
Briscoe lost 2 or 3 spots there as he was waiting for what you heard. Finally clear down, get in line.
Still outside at your quarter. Still quarter. Still bumper.
Drivers working the outside include Gibbs, Ty Dillon, Suarez, Todd Gilliland, Eric Jones, and Noah Gragson.
I've been pretty impressed with how they're able to run this outside line to be able to defend themselves. And
it's funny you said that. I was watching the 9 car and he's entering way high again, trying to set up a pass on Denny. It's not quite there yet, but he is definitely moving around. Kevin, as soon as I heard you say they're running the outside, I looked up, and that's certainly where he's at. The takeoff speed of the Bubba Wallace, we saw that when they first had tires on, was really good. Long run speed not quite as good as Elliott's was. That last long run, Elliott obviously ran down Hamlin towards the end of it. Let's see if he can do the same.
Austin Dillon working hard and making the outside work.
Well, I think he's got a really good race car. I think as the we noted earlier, he had a little bit of trouble in the pit stall earlier in the race, losing first gear, but he's been steadily working his way back forward, and you see his brother Ty right behind him in that 10 car. So decent day for both of those cars, but 3 definitely moving forward of Austin Dillon.
Losing first gear, trying to get out of the pits, very challenging the rest of the day.
Michael McDowell just ahead, racing for the Rock. NASCAR returns to Rockingham Easter weekend with the Truck and Xfinity Series, and hope they get a big crowd. Clint, you're going to take the train to the Rock? They got a train running now from Raleigh and from Southern Pines down to the racetrack.
Great idea. Who doesn't like a train ride? Head to the racetrack.
Bubba Wallace in 3rd, a 1.5 seconds back. Jamie.
Well, Mike, it's been another great day and good performance for Bubba Wallace. And I feel like we talk about this team and this driver week in and week out. We heard from him in the pre-show with Kevin Harvick. Well, the man behind a lot of the change this year is his new crew chief, Charles Denite. Got the promotion from the Truck Series. As a matter of fact, he won both of the truck races here last year, but he moved on up. I talked to Charles this morning about making that big move, and he said, with my engineering background, it really helps you jump into the process that they have going over here at 2311. They trust each other. It's a great pairing so far. And, you know, let's just listen to Bubba and his thoughts on his new crew chief.
Charles Denite, he's new to the team, new to the squad, new to the 23 team. So it's a big learning curve for him. He's been so invested at picking up the ball quick and taking it to new levels. Somehow we renewed Freddie Kraft's contract for me personally for the 15th year. My big brother. It's nice to have a familiar voice in your ear. Although it was nice when he got suspended for Phoenix, and he wasn't in my ear. So, think about the future on that.
Said with a smile.
Yeah, Bubba and Freddie obviously have a great relationship, but I think when you go back to Charles and the crew chief position, when I did that interview with Bubba, it just screamed confidence in the things and the answers that he had to every single question. It was like, nope, we have more structure. I have more structure in my life. I'm a new dad. I'm into understanding that it takes more work than everything else that I've done in the previous years. So having that routine, structure, organization, and happiness to go along with the situation to make that circle of life right makes this race car go faster. Now, obviously, Charles is doing a great job in putting fast race cars on the racetrack, but that driver believing in the race car and the crew chief and everything about it also makes it go faster.
Ricky Stenhouse, little lock up there as Cole Custer made a hole on the outside and filled it, trying to get around Noah Gragson here. Josh Berry still one lap down. They were down 2 with that battery replacement.
Oh,
and got one back. Ryan Priest
Oh,
with an issue.
Yeah, you saw the 48 come across the nose of the 60 car right there and ran him over the curb, and it put Priest in a position to now where he's got to defend himself to try to maintain
these
the track
three
position
again
from losing any more.
It's not over yet.
Can they just not get away from each other?
So middle, get up, just inside only.
Yeah, things are really stacked up back here.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about earlier in the race. Racing at the back of this field is just way more intense than it is up in the front because those guys are able to get strung out and get in a rhythm. Back here, you're just fighting for your life.
Well, there's Josh Berry on the outside, and talking about fighting for your life. I mean, he cannot go anywhere. He was once leading this field at ease. The role has changed.
35th, one lap down for Berry. Chris Buescher, 33rd, but on the lead lap. Let's get back up into the top 10 and Regan.
Well, Mike, update on Ross Chastain running in the 7th position, doing a very nice job today, moving forward and also moving forward on the restarts very nicely. Each restart seems to gain spots. Right now, the car, when he loads the right rear, just a little bit too loose, but something to keep an eye on for this run. Crew Chief Phil Surgeon told me right before the race that strength was the long runs of the car. They felt really good if they could get some long runs in.
Well, he ran his fastest lap just on the restart for this stage. So did Denny Hamlin, our race leader, and so did Ryan Blaney and Chase Briscoe. All ran their fastest lap as we restarted for stage number 3. John Hunter Nemechek on the outside there.
He is having a rough go, struggling out here for grip in his car, holding everybody up, trying to get out of the way and just can't.
Spire Motorsports battle, Justin Haley, Carson Hocevar.
Oh, man. That's a tough way to race your teammate right there. You see Hocevar just go up the racetrack and slam into the side of the 7.
And then gave him a wave after he went by, as in, sorry about that, I think. And they're battling for 21st.
Saw the hood blow up on that 7 car yesterday during qualifying. Went out on the racetrack and it blew up over the windshield. Daniel Suarez right here.
Just out of the top 10, 11th place there.
Yeah, I couldn't find him right there. Stumbled on my comment, but we've seen this the last several weeks out of Daniel. Just kind of finds their way up towards the top 10, able to put himself in a position to finish up with a good day.
All right, now instead of taking you to a car commercial, we're going to stay right here for commercial-free racing from Martinsville. We're going to go Toyota all out. With 169 laps to go, riding with Bubba Wallace in 3rd, just ahead of pole sitter Christopher Bell in 4th, Denny Hamlin leading. I like what I heard out of Bubba in your interview there, Kevin. And the thing, you know, Bubba came into the Cup Series and there was always a lot of attention focused on him. And I just got the feeling it was very hard for him to build trust with the people around him and the people supporting him. But what I heard in that interview was a much more confident, as you said, Bubba, who now has full trust in a crew chief, and boy, they're facing forward, they're moving.
Absolutely. You know, when I was driving, I had a very small circle of people. I didn't trust many people other than the people that were around you. And when you finally get that group of people around you, like it seems Bubba has right now with crew chief, owner, and the driver all together, it just gives you that confidence to be able to just let your guard down and be who you are.
Christopher Bell You know, we talked to him in practice. He said, I don't have a very good car. Goes out and wins the pole. He was the 17th driver to time trial. He had to wait and watch 21 more drivers after him take a crack.
Well, if Denny Hamlin ends up winning this race, my dad would love that.
But nobody beat him for the pole position.
And they know that they need to be better.
He already got a stage win,
so that's 10, not running good last
10
year
points
and got
right there.
themselves knocked out of the playoffs. So
And Logano, he's got bonus 20 points. He's won both stages.
Chase Briscoe just doing what he needs to do. We need some solid finishes out of this group. It's a new group together. Need some confidence to build our program, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. Currently 8th, Chase Briscoe.
His kind of racetrack, having a good day. Tyler Reddick, on the other hand, back in 15th place. Usually we see him a lot closer to the front. Maybe this just is not his kind of racetrack.
Yeah, and I would vote for that. And I think that this is just not his kind of racetrack. I don't think that this has been a place where they have stuck out like they do at other places to have that performance that's elite.
But I do believe that they have some room to improve. This is not the start to the season on it. Looking back at Homestead on tracks that he's typically good at, we haven't seen.
Ty Gibbs has had cool suit issues, looking for a top 10 here as he runs in 9th place. 5 Toyotas in the top 10, including 1st, 3rd, and 4th. So thanks to Toyota for providing us with more green flag action here from Martinsville.
I hate that I have to do that. He's so fucking old that like he'll just like lay in the same position for hours and not move, and sometimes I question it.
To get in lap traffic, and I think that
Old
maneuverability in these cars is what's going
Right.
to
I go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. What?
The best.
Yeah, are you still with me, Dutch?
Green flag run.
I'll be right back. I go to the
looking
bathroom.
forward to.
Yeah, Mike, I think what's going to happen, they're going to end up splitting this stage in half, which means they're going to probably start coming anywhere north of lap 290 with about 110 laps to go. I think that's the best way to do with the tire fall off that we have. But if you're back in the pack, you may see some unorthodox strategy. You may see them trying to split it in thirds. You may see somebody just try to run long on fuel, trying to catch that caution. But I think the leaders split it in half.
Okay. Chase Elliott's been one of those leaders most of the day. Currently runs in 2nd. He's led 42 laps today. Hamlin's been out front for 116 circuits, by far the most of any driver. Bubba Wallace 2.3 back now.
And I think that the cloud cover, and you see the sun start to pop out as I mentioned that here and there, but I think that the cloud cover has kind of minimized that fall off, Clint. It doesn't seem to be like it's as big of a spread today as it has been in the past, but we also haven't had really deep green flag runs like it feels like we're in the middle of right now. So hopefully we can get deep into this run and really see which cars fall off bad.
It's lap traffic. Every time we catch lap traffic, it seems like we got a caution and the stage was come to an end. This, just like Mike said, feels like a long run, and these lappers get harder and harder. The first ones may be already 2 laps down or a lap down already. They're going to let you by. But that continues to ratchet up as they race harder with each other to stay on the lead lap. It becomes way more difficult, way more of a challenge to make that pass. And that's when everybody catches you.
Joey Logano looking for his first top 10 of the year. Had a bit of contrary strategy early. Got himself up to the front and got himself a win in stage number 1. But here's Logano now in 10th. The second Ford in the race. His teammate Blaney up in 5th. Logano in 10th.
You can tell it's wearing these tires. I mean, look at the sides of these cars. They're a lot more black
wild
on the side of them, a lot dirtier than we've seen in the past. When you look at Denny's car, just keep going down. You can hardly see the numbers on some of them anymore.
Now, all the Hendrick cars qualified in the top 10, but Alex Bowman had to make an extra stop there on pit road, and here he goes a lap down.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised about that. I thought that the speed in that car was pretty good, but evidently as everything has happened with all of their circumstances, definitely not the day that we expected out of that 48.
William Byron in 12th place here. I think he's the only driver who's led every race this year, and that streak, well, it may come to an end today.
Hasn't really been able to get out of that 12th position land, but time's not up. I mean, look at the rubber on those cars. It's crazy. See Zane Smith running 13th. Pretty strong effort out of the 38 car.
He had a little temper issue earlier, got into a bumper bashing incident with another driver. They traded positions a bit, then everything calmed down.
That's called Martinsville.
Solid run now.
Good. Short track, baby.
Yep. Speaking of bumpers, Michael McDowell in 14th place. We mentioned him a time or two, getting into a dust up. You can see the results of it there on the front bumper just below the Chevy bow tie. Leader back in more race traffic. This is Cody Ware, who's had a good run here today. He was good in practice. He's stayed on the lead lap to this point.
Well, Chase Elliott has been moving all around this racetrack. You see him entering the racetrack at the top of that concrete. He's going to go under the 51 most likely right here on the bottom. But 2 or 3 laps before this, he was wrapping the curb. So that tells me that Chase is searching around the racetrack for what he needs for his car to get around the corner the best right now. So he's been all the way high on the concrete patch, and he's been all the way against the curb through the middle of the corner.
We saw this exact same thing playing out that last run. As it stage come to a close, he was running them down, and I think his maneuverability building that race car and his driving style of this place, how he enters high and diamonds the corner. See how much higher he enters? Now watch him cut back across this rubber, crosses it, straight drive up off. But that's a tough cookie with a lot of experience and a lot of laps led in front of you that you got to pass. It's going to take lap traffic. Let him catch him. Look at the rubber build up on a track.
That's a great shot right there to be able to really see the darkness of the rubber and everything that changes with this racetrack. And that rubber, you can see it being put down. It'll be picked up. You can tell that the cars that are sliding right there leave a little bit different tire mark through the corner. But this 9 car, it's better than the 11 car right now, Clinton. He can move all over the racetrack. Look at that. Look at all that rubber.
A lot, but it's all over. But right where those right side tires go, that's where it gets the most, and it is like slime. You hit it and the front tires take off, then the rear tires start chattering. Got to get those right sides out of it, find a way around it. You have to cross back over it, much like we're talking about with Chase Elliott. I like how he does that and gets a straight drive off. Look, right to the back bumper at 11. 11 has nowhere to go. These guys are going to start racing each other, trying to stay on the lead lap, making it much more difficult for Denny.
Yeah, and you see 69 laps on these tires, and the deeper that they get into these lap cars, the harder it's going to be for Denny. We haven't seen him move around the racetrack as you see Casey Mears lock up that tire up on the top side behind these guys, but he hasn't had to move his car around much, and Chase has been back there just messing around with the lines to try to do something different so he knows what to do in traffic.
These 3 cars right here battling. Reddick, McDowell, and Dillon are all battling and using different lines doing it. I love watching this battle, 3-car battle, crossing over, running high, trying to find grip in other places.
The thing that's happening with these cars right now, they're starting to get loose into the corner. So that downshift that we talked about earlier that you do going into the corner, the lap times have slowed down, so your upshift's in a little different spot. You see the door of the 45 go into the left front tire of the 71, trying to finish that pass off. But a lot of these cars are going to start getting loose in the corner, and when they start getting loose in the corner, that's when that right rear tire starts to wear out. Well, you're still naturally probably pretty tight, but you got to take care of that right rear tire as this run goes on.
So now just 29 cars on the lead lap. Chris Buescher is the last car on the lead lap. You're looking from him back at race leader Denny Hamlin. It has been a day with a lot of contact at Martinsville, and there's still 141 laps to go.
it in deep, but Harvick's going to hold on.
I see there's a grandfather clock sitting over there, so that'll look. That's yours.
Tick-tock, grandfather clock. And if you're splitting this stage in third, you're on pit road right now, like William Byron and Cole Custer. Regan.
Like William Byron in the 24, a little bit early on this stop, but he started complaining about the front end bouncing about 5 laps ago. Decided to pit a little bit early on this one. Been fighting a very tight race car all day.
Larry?
Yeah, in the garage area yesterday, I talked to probably half the crew chiefs. And on paper, splitting this stage into thirds is the fastest. But what the system doesn't tell you is about lap traffic and being out there with 37, 38 other cars. That's the variable.
All right, Alex Bowman also made a pit stop. And excuse me, that was not Cole Custer. It was Burt Myers on pit road. Now Justin Haley is in. And Cody Ware, having gone a lap down, he's coming pit road. 131 to go. Eric Jones is going to fall down 1 lap to the leader. He is the 24th place car. Joey Logano looks like he may finally get his first top 10 of the year. This is the deepest a defending champion has gone into a season without a top 10.
Well, they've had the speed to be able to run where they need to be on the racetrack, but you look at Denny Hamlin right here. He has driven away from the 9 car, and that's what we were discussing earlier, was how do we get to the end of this run, and how do these cars perform, and who's going to fall off, and who's going to have the handling issues first.
Well, the 9 drove right to him in that lap traffic, and boy, he drove off from him. I'd say 9's looking for a pit stop soon.
Brad Keselowski on pit road. Noah Gragson coming in, and Shane Van Gisbergen.
And typically when these cars fall off, they're done, right? Like you just have to slow down. You don't have an option. That right rear tire starts sliding and starts spinning the rear tires up off the corner. You got to go way slower. So you're going to see a lot of these cars that have that type of issue. But when that right rear tire shuts off, you're in big trouble.
Denny Hamlin's last Martinsville win was here 10 years ago. That race was also the debut of a young driver named Chase Elliott in the Cup Series.
Wow, how about that? But it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, we're sitting here listening to you tell me about right rear burning off, tire management, taking care of tires. There's nobody on this racetrack still today that does a better job of taking care of their equipment than Denny Hamlin.
All right, Josh Berry just limped into his pit, and we have caution up in turn 4. Van Gisbergen. Lap 275, 7th yellow flag. Of course,
the wheel fell off.
Yep.
Right rear came off.
He had just completed a pit stop.
That's a vacation
and lost the right rear.
Bring it to us,
Well, there's that.
So everyone who just made a stop will take the wave around. Now, as that was happening, Josh Berry came into his pits very, very slowly, made it there, and now pulls out. Berry is 3 laps down. And Cole Custer
back. What happened?
Back straight away, then grabbed a gear and got going again. So.
For the next 2 weeks.
Tire go bye-bye?
Yep.
That's a bad feeling right there.
Yeah, and he had no idea. Usually when you get in a corner, you can feel the car start to squirm around in the back. He had just come out of the pits going straight, so no warning. That tire was never on there.
And I don't know. How can there not be a warning that tire's not on there? A tire carrier, like that changer, he knew that it didn't go on there all the way, or felt something wrong. Maybe an alert, something. Hey, we don't know.
Well, not always.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know.
So the wheel, you see,
it would be something.
The wheel sits on the spindle, and it's held in place by those pins all the way around. And as long as you don't have sideward motion, you can accelerate, you can brake, you can go fast and slow. And then as soon as you try to turn, whoops, nothing's holding it on.
No, I'm with you. Well, the way that is, and you can see right there, you see those notches in that lug nut right there? That has to go over the pin. We've covered all the time. Larry shows us that. But when that wheel doesn't go on, it's because the pins behind the wheel aren't aligned. It won't let the wheel go down all the way onto the hub. And this is exactly what we're going to show you. That is the keeper. But you see, if it doesn't, that's what happens right there. The wheel's not all the way on, so the lug nut goes tight, but it isn't tight because the wheel's not all the way on. Those pins go into dowel holes on the back of the wheel, and they get hung up in between those holes. And when it does, the wheel doesn't go all the way on. They tighten the lug nut. Doesn't take long, obviously, and that thing will fly off.
Well, I'd be interested to know what the 9 car was battling right there as we got towards the end of that run. He definitely lost a lot of pace with Denny Hamlin.
So, Larry, we're at 278 right now. They were last on pit road at 187. If you intended to split the stage in half, would you just go ahead and come now?
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. They'll be coming 4 tires. Make sure it's full of fuel. You can make it from the end here. And I would say if you pit here, if we went caution-free, there's a good chance you won't split this out.
Eric Jones gets the free pass as Denny Hamlin brings the lead lap cars onto pit road. Regan.
Ross Chastain, the 1 car up to 6th place right now, needs help with that being loose into the corners. He can deal with a little tight in the middle, he told the crew chief. And the 9 of Chase Elliott, still a little bit too snug in the middle of the corner, can't turn like he wants to. He did like it better this run, thought they were making progress with it. Jamie?
Denny Hamlin has not had much to complain about today. All positive feedback said the exits are way better. They got the longer run better. He's led 154 laps today. You see 4 tires here. Air pressure adjustment just ahead of him is the 23 of Bubba Wallace. Happy with his car air pressure adjustment. That pit crew right there ranked #1 on pit road right now, Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. Hamlin leads them off pit road. It is a long stop for Cole Custer. They are having trouble, and a little bit of a slow stop there for Chase Elliott. We're under caution with 121 to go.
I hit the severe thunderstorm watch. My weather channel just said Adrian, Michigan, severe weather. Or severe thunderstorm watch.
Yeah, it's supposed to get hit for like...
Hunter and Goldberg got off the golf course then. It's getting... Fucking rain's coming. Typical Chase Elliott fan. Typical Chase Elliott fan looking like Santa Claus. They look the same. It's the same dude.
Welcome back to the Cookout 400 at Martinsville Speedway. 118 laps to go. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating 100 years of an American icon, the Goodyear blimp. They set this track at kind of the bottom of a swale or a bit of a ravine because then they wouldn't have to do as much work to build grandstands on either side as you went up the hill. That's what they did in 1947. They paved it in the middle 50s. They concreted it in the corners a couple of decades later. And here we are.
How's that work for drainage, Mike? Pretty good?
Down the hill. Keep going down the hill,
keep
Kevin.
going down the hill. Yep.
Right. Gravity works. The Earl's family houses on the property there at the top. Now camping area on race weekends.
Well, here we go again. Picked all the rubber up off the racetrack. We've seen, well, I mean, everybody's going to be on even tires now. So that loose wheel really throws a wrench into the strategy here, Clint.
Well, that was my point in that. And, you know, it's a bummer. It really is. It's changing the complexity of this race in a big way. And unfortunately, we see it week in and week out. It's not just them and not pinning on anybody. It's you know, we know why. I mean, that's the difference. The crumbs make the difference, and pit road is a huge part of that.
Here's what's around the turn on Fox. The NHRA, quickest and fastest of all motorsports. Right? Just ask Bob Taska III. The Pomona finals are next. And for NASCAR, the Goodyear 400 at Darlington next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Wait till you see all those great throwback paint schemes. IndyCar, the fastest thing on wheels. So they say they're in Long Beach, April 13th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. I can add nothing to help resolve that debate. I'm just happy they're all on Fox.
I like that, but I'll fix it. I'm just glad the best racing is on NASCAR over here and these little circle tracks. You know, I mean, I would tell you what, one thing, Ron Capps, my buddy Ron Capps, had a big wreck. Thinking about him, glad to see him get out of that thing. What a stud he is.
All right, Chase Elliott will start back in fourth.
Okay, buddy.
Because his pit stop was 11.7 seconds. He lost 2 spots. Denny Hamlin 9.9. And great stop for Christopher Bell, picking up 2 spots with a 9.8 second stop. So it's Toyotas up front, Hamlin and Bell, Wallace and Elliott, Larson, Briscoe, Chastain.
Byron, last I knew, was towards the back.
Ty Gibbs.
Okay, so at least one of his drivers is having a shit day.
Cars on the lead lap as we're back to green.
Yeah, and you see
it looked like Hamlin left. It looked like Hamlin left a little early for my liking. Oh, no.
The one time I've had a buffer all day.
3 Toyotas on point, and Bell trying to get the better of Wallace here for second spot.
And that's the position. He was crowding him a little bit. Bubba's going to let him go. File in on the bottom there. That's that choose cone rule, though. Bell chose the inside, prevailed.
Next, it's 3 Chevys. 2 from the Hendrick camp. Larson on the outside of Elliott, and then Chastain. First 4 in the race is Blaney.
I need stage
He
one
and
or fantasy
teammate
points.
Logano.
And Todd's running 17th. All right, Todd's running 18th. All right.
I really thought he would make a little bit more noise.
If Ross and Bubba can consistently finish top 10, Todd Gilliland can finish inside the top 20 consistently, I can crawl out of this points deficit.
He's done a good job.
Oh, Larson.
A lot of blocking there out of the
not clear, not clear, Larson. Not clear.
2-3 going into the corner.
Well, taste of his own medicine a little bit. He don't like it the other way.
We've seen these cars run into each other a few times. They definitely put a lot of emphasis on racing.
Yeah, unlike you, Mr. Lardson, if somebody drives us like a fuck stick, we give it back. Oh, big shot!
The 5 way up to the edge of the concrete in turn 2.
This would be a good time for the 19 just to let the 5 go. He might
sort it out. He might get 2 for 1.
He might sort out.
Yeah, here, you go deal with this,
yeah,
right?
That's right.
I think that's what Justin Allgaier tried to do on the last lap here last night. He said, yeah, you guys go ahead, and I'll pick up the pieces. Unfortunately, he got turned around too.
He picked up the pieces all right. A lot of pieces on the racetrack.
From a lot of cars. All right, Briscoe to the inside of Kyle Larson, who's not having any fun right now. Logano behind them, then Blaney, then Michael McDowell has fought his way into the top 10. Well, Fender to fender.
Chase Briscoe, as my teammate at Stewart-Haas Racing, this was always a really good track for Chase. You see it again today. We've seen a couple weeks in a row now where they've put together, hadn't quite finished this race, but last week at Homestead had a nice solid day. Kind of stopped the bleeding on a lot of the things that they had go wrong at the beginning of the year, and so far today have put together another solid top 10 performance.
I like what you're saying there, and I think that's a Gibbs thing. That's a Toyota thing. These Toyotas are strong here. 1, 2, 3 right now. Briscoe running up front. It's been a Hendrick-dominated track here in the last few years, and that has changed.
Well, Chase Briscoe has finished top 10 here 5 of the last 6 races. And now he's going to drive away.
Yeah, Briscoe's just quietly consistent in Martinsville.
He's got Joey Logano to his outside now.
He's just struggled all day with the handling of his car. It seems like the rear end is not in the track at all, Kevin. I've watched him. He's been loose in, loose off the corner. Got a pair of Penske cars on both sides of him now. It's just can't really find his groove, find the comfort that he's looking for in that car.
Now Austin Dillon's going after Tyler Reddick. That's for 12th place. And wherever Austin has been all day long, Ty Dillon has been right there with him.
Go throw my laundry.
There are the brothers. The 3 and the 10. Oh, man. No. Around goes Ty Gibbs.
Bro.
And everybody scatters. Zane Smith nowhere to go.
Oh, thank God, not Todd. Thank God. Thank God, not Todd.
Reddick spun Ty Gibbs.
With 103 laps to go, Gibbs was 11th.
Reddick spun him, bro. Come on, man.
Seth, your driver's a menace.
Reddick, what did you do?
Ty Gibbs is able to drive away. And Larry, I'm sure for all these crew chiefs, it's head-scratching time now.
Yeah, it is, Mike. But, I mean, we have 24 drivers still on the lead lap. You may see some guys near the back come. They only ran 11 laps right there. I just think we're getting to that point where track position is going to be king.
Watch how far ahead Gibbs is, but he misses the corner a little bit. He's way on the outside, kind of leaves the door open, goes across back over, and the 45 was there. Unfortunately, got into him, turned him around.
So it wasn't the 45.
He was 2 car lengths ahead going in. Obviously had some trouble getting it turned back down the hill. I don't know if he was loose or what.
Yeah, and the 45 didn't cut him any slack right there.
No.
Kind of got in the back of him, and then the car behind the 45 shoved him all the way through him.
My point is, you don't narrow up 2 car lengths just without something happening. He got loose, had a little bit of trouble, and it was in the 45's lap. Obviously, he turned him around, but I think there was a little bit more to the story.
Here's some audio from Ty Gibbs.
Just free this thing up, please.
Buddy, it's gonna be okay.
Sir, keep me away from that little after this race, too.
And Zane Smith, you saw the 38, nowhere to go. Good bit of damage on the front of his car.
Don't blame Reddick for that.
Everybody
Reddick
scattered, but Ty Gibbs was just right in his lap as he got to the middle of turn 2.
Happened. Do not blame Reddick for that.
It's all Tyler Reddick's fault.
It was not. Oh yeah, like how it was Ross's fault.
Yep. It's all right. It's all right.
You got a minute to catch your breath, and so does everybody else here.
And as a driver, that's good for you because the restarts are intense. Everything that you've done today has just been so intense. So anytime you get a break, it feels pretty good. You want to loosen your belts, take a drink of water, take a deep breath, get everything resituated in the car, and get ready to fire off again because as this race goes, it will get more and more intense. We've got 100 to go.
Put
And pit road is open. Let's see if there's any takers of the lead lap cars. Chase Briscoe feints at it. No.
There'll be some takers towards the end of this thing just because of doing something different. But I like your comment there. Gives you a chance to think about what to do next for a change to get that magical moment to win this race at the end.
Ty Dillon pits from 13th place. He is the first of a half dozen or so cars to come to pit road. I'm going to take you side by side.
Oops.
Cry Gibbs. Yeah, Austin Dillon decided, hey, let's just not get on the brake for a minute. Let's shove the 45 into the 54. I hate you so much. Getting hate for something we didn't even do. Dead 3-car out of my face, bro. Hey, it's the banana. It's Cole Custer.
The nanner.
Who gets to...
I don't care. I gotta read what this says. Ty Gibbs got told inside right before the incident with Tyler Reddick. Just free this fucking thing up, please. It doesn't roll to center at all. Copy, buddy. It's going to be okay. Ty Gibbs responds, you better keep me away from that little fucker after the race, too. Normal deal. He stuck his nose in, and then the 3 was piling through him from behind. Nothing you can do. Thank you! Thank you!
4 cars on
That
the
was
lead
Ty
lap,
Gibbs.
so
That was Ty Gibbs' crew chief.
a number of those cars that had pitted under green.
The 3-car flying or putting his nose where it's not supposed to be. Never.
Is from Cindric on back. Cindric, Stenhouse, Nemechek,
Even the crew chief knows.
Keselowski, Gregson, and Haley. All still one lap
Tyler
down.
Reddick was definitely inside there when Ty
And
Gibbs
Bowman
started
under
to come
penalty,
down.
a lap
That's
down.
what Reddick said. I tried to live for him.
Of the
3
38
didn't know
starters that are all out there.
And that's why we left your stupid organization. Get me out of here.
Well, this can go a couple ways right here. We can go all the way to the end under green, or it can turn into
I swear,
just
if Ty Gibbs starts like throwing hands,
a super rough multi-caution race. So
throwing hands with the wrong
you never know
guy.
how this is going to turn out.
We'll throw hands with the guy that took over.
All right, Denny Hamlin.
Nah, he'll probably go throw hands with Dillon if he throws hands at anybody. If he was told it was, if he was told, that's a good one. If he was told that, then his beef would be with the 3, not with the 45.
Briscoe and McDowell, the top 10.
Because we are nowhere
Yeah,
up front.
Bubba Wallace has struggled on these last couple restarts on the outside lane, so it'll be interesting to see if he mixes his timing up. Also interesting to watch Denny Hamlin.
All right, I got both my fantasy drivers starting in front and behind each other. All right, don't kill each other, please.
Oh no!
Maybe that's what Wallace is counting
all next to each other. Briscoe, Larson, and Reddick are all next to each other.
Second place. We're about to
And then Ross is up row 2 outside.
I'm scared.
It's been a minute since we've seen him this competitive.
This is where the race is about to get a little funky.
We'll restart with 94.
How many laps did it go? I turned the stream back up.
Bubba did a little bit better that time. He timed that restart.
I had the Cubs up
chance
for
to be able to get
a
down
while.
there in second place. Good job, Bubba.
You're up 1-0 on the back.
Chastain fires it
Send
on
it.
the outside.
Send him, Bubba.
Stack that bottom up, and you said it. Chastain gets a run on the outside of 20.
Can't help but think of Hail Melon, but of course we've outlawed that.
It was still awesome, Mike.
It was.
We had that
Once.
He's the only guy here that's ever used fifth gear.
That's right.
That's right.
Stuck on it.
Chase Elliott trying to fight off Chastain here for fourth, and does. Chastain a quick left turn.
Yeah, Ross.
Joey Logano's bumper.
Yeah, and it looks like Joey's not going to like that. It looked to me like he got himself
around goes Gregson in turn 2.
Oh.
And yellow lights are on.
Well, here
that may have saved Ross from getting shipped.
We figured out that this is going to get rough.
We were going to get absolutely shipped. And would NASCAR do anything about it? No, because only Chevys get fucking penalized for shipping all.
One of the day.
Right here. Right only, it's the right side tire, the right front, right.
Or was that catching any brakes?
They have
I don't mind that A&W scheme. I think it looks pretty good.
Today.
About respect?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Ricky Stenhouse will. Yes, Ricky Stenhouse will get back on the lead lap with the free pass.
That all kind of started watching Larson here just stacked everything up. He was been out of shape a couple, 2 or 3 different times. Watch how loose he gets up off the corner.
Oh my
all
God.
that got him turned around, and it just keeps stacking up behind
Kyle
him.
Larson.
And when that happens, the reason that it stacks up behind
wheel hop.
17 car
Wheel hop.
after a tire.
No wonder the tire got shredded. He wheel hopped it.
Checked up right there. It stacked that lineup, but then
yeah, that's Ryan. It wasn't Ryan Priest, so no rocket.
Maximize the passes that they can make.
Oh, wheel hop.
That was a big
shot. The only people that can do the Rocket League noises is Reddick and
back
Priest.
To Larson, though, I mean, I was watching it started clear back here off of 4. And
yeah.
Transpired off of.
Yeah, he did a flip reset.
Off of 2, but holy cow, these guys are getting after it. Respect,
hit a musty flick.
I don't know. I never really. I respected him. I guess I just didn't like him. I liked him Monday. Didn't like him Sunday.
My fantasy team is loving this. Todd Gilliland is coming up to the front. He's at 13.
The difference between cars like the front bumper of cars like Gregson, and we saw the 17 Buescher a moment ago, and compare that to Kyle Larson. Looks like it just rolled out of the car.
We got beat. Dude, Gregson really didn't do anything.
Danny Hamlin's is the one you want to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference between.
I don't know why Buescher's mad at Gregson.
I think Gregson's mad at Buescher.
It is rough. It is not fun. There's nothing about it that middle of the backpack racing is fun.
You can walk around these cars and know what they had
Yeah,
for a
no,
car.
I was
If
waiting
the
for him,
back
look.
bumpers run over.
It's definitely Gregson's mad at Buescher.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no one was waiting for him. No one was mad at Buescher.
Displeasure with Gregson.
I don't know. Buescher didn't really do anything.
The bumper you want messed up is the front bumper at this place. Not
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
that one's messed.
That one's.
That was Noah showing his displeasure with Buescher running him over.
About another right front tire flat.
Not very often that you see Chris Buescher wound up.
Last time I saw him wound up,
and when it is,
dude, is Buescher and Gregson about to junk their cars for like the 30th?
At Tyler Reddick.
How about next Sunday? It's Throwback Weekend and the Goodyear 400 at the famed Darlington Raceway in South Carolina.
I do enjoy Darlington. I hate racing it, but I love watching the race.
Only on FS1. Going to be tough to pick the best.
I also like Richmond.
Next Sunday.
I like short tracks. I like watching cars beat and bang. It's fun.
But honestly, it's just a throwback.
I love the.
You're in the 1950s or something. It's love it down there. Love that racetrack. The uniqueness of it. Wall getting tore up. It's awesome.
It's a racetrack that you go to that hasn't changed, and the shape of it is what it is. The banking has been what it is. The cars are going way faster than the track was designed for. It's narrow, it's very line sensitive, and it's easy to make a mistake. So the lady in black can reach out and grab you at any point.
So what do I hear you guys are going to get to drive next weekend?
Yeah, you might have to just wait and see. How about that? I'm not telling. It's going to be awesome, though.
Boyer kept the cat in the bag. Now there's a first.
I just hope, yeah, it's rare.
I know.
I hope it doesn't turn out like you and Jeff driving those rental cars.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
That was the most fun I've ever had on a racetrack, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, HR, Human Resources spent a whole week on the phone after that one.
We don't need to talk about that.
No. Insurance? Who needs insurance? Well, we're at 9. That's the most cautions ever in a 400-lap race here.
All right.
And that's only been.
Oh, great. Logano's starting behind Chastain. We're getting shipped. We're getting shipped.
500 lappers here at Martinsville. Tyler Reddick not having a fun day.
I'm so tired of these restarts. It does not matter what we do. It just.
They said retards.
Stay outside for 15 laps. Get to the bottom. Get past. It's ridiculous. Sucks. Gotta shake it off.
He's so pissed.
Reddick doesn't have a good relationship with this track.
Welcome to Martinsville. That's what
He fucking hates Martinsville. Fuck this place.
Throughout this race because they've been run into too many times, can't go fast, whatever the situation is.
Reddick will restart from 13th. Hamlin and Wallace, again, the two Toyotas on the front row. Christopher Bell.
Dude, I swear, it looks like Denny is fucking jumping the restart every time.
That may not give Wallace an opportunity to drop in.
Oh, Dylan.
Bell is there.
I'm waiting for Logano to absolutely destroy the one.
Driving in the corner really deep into turn 3, staying on that outside, hanging tough with against Bell, trying to get down.
Backed out, went to the bottom.
Almost had it clear off before that.
Whoa, Briscoe slides up and turns Logano.
Oh!
Yes! 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 Briscoe, yes! I love Chase Briscoe.
Last stage of the race, and
I love Chase Briscoe.
I think Chastain pushed Briscoe down there. It seems like every single time we get towards the end of these races, that 22 car has something that has kept him from getting a top 10 all year.
Suzuki home run! Say a Suzuki home run. Let's go. This is feeding families. Where's
I think no, you might want to watch this though.
Dude, this is feeding families. Dude, this is feeding families.
Pushed him down there, watch.
Nah, I don't care. Look, Briscoe hit Logano.
Curve a little bit, got loose and up in
you see Reddick?
Logano on the outside. You can see Chastain move down, blocks him a little bit.
I'm saving this.
Backs him up. Touches that curb,
you see
boom,
the whole left front tire came up off the ground right there as he hit that curb.
Didn't mean to, but
Reddick just runs up.
Doesn't matter. It's just funny.
Oh, and Brad did it too. Brad and Reddick both ran
Well,
all way
the reason I say this is feeding families is Logano just got wrecked. And Seiya Suzuki just hit a home run, so the Cubs are up 3-0. Let's go!
And what happens right there when you hit the curb, you'll see.
I watched Logano wreck and then a home run.
And actually take the left front tire.
And Ross is being a terrorist. I love it.
The curb so hard that the tire actually came off the ground because the splitter was up on top of the curb.
Wrong
place at the wrong time, Joey Logano.
Nice job by Michael McDowell of missing all that. He had to be hard.
He's just not even mad that Ross almost jumped his car. He's just happy Logano wrecked. I love it. Backwatch.
Joey Logano right there with Kyle Larson and Bobby Labonte.
It just keeps being crazy things like that. He's led a crazy amount of laps, stage points, stages, everything in between. Just cannot seem to have the things fall the right way at the end of the race.
Well, right now, the highest Ford in the running order is Ryan Preece in 8th, trying for his 3rd straight top 10. As Ford has only enjoyed 5 top 5 finishes this season, the fewest through 6 races since 2016.
Kyle Tucker?
Those 5, Josh Berry
Oh,
has 2
fly out.
Definitely not those storylines that you would expect for those stats out of the Fords, but
It's a pretty fair recap.
For the most part, it hasn't been because of performance, right? I think a lot of this has become very much because of the circumstances that they've had to deal with, just like Joey Logano.
Just like we just saw.
Yeah, just like that right there today.
Logano's going to be even more pissed at Ross Chastain now.
Through 6 races, here are defending champions who had not had a top 5.
He shouldn't have won the fucking shit.
Dozen races.
Dude, give me a break.
And that's 3 Hall of Famers and a multiple-time champ. There's one of them, Jeff Gordon.
Hi, Jeffrey Michael Gordon.
Who has 2
Hi, Jeff.
cars in the top 6.
Jeff Gordon's gay. Yeah, ever since that contact on pit road with Barry and Bubba, Barry has been buried in the 30s.
Joey Logano after that spin.
Yeah.
4 tires.
So Larry, with all these caution laps, what does this do to us?
Second, fifth,
the more I got to think these guys aren't going to want to give
where the
up
hell's
their
Todd?
position.
Where's the Todd father?
They only actually have 15 green flag
Where
laps.
is the Todd father?
They all pitted all the way essentially back on
P11. Oh, dude, if I can get all 3 of my cars in the top 10, I will cry.
12, and then wherever the hell Busch was, I think he's like 30th. 25th, close enough. 24th, yay!
There are the trends. Well, Clayton,
Let's keep Logano in 25th. Let's keep him back in the back.
Watching Cash run into your arms there as you were going to wind that clock in victory lane. That's a moment nobody who was here will.
All right, Bubba, don't let this fraud keep jumping the restart. Get a good restart, take the lead, and go win the race. I hate that I'm cheering for Bubba Wallace.
In my actual fantasy,
down the straightaway, and I was like, oh no,
so
this is going to get me, and it did. But special moments at a special racetrack for me. This was always one that I wanted to win at. Got closer, just kept perfecting my craft here. It was a challenging go at this racetrack. When I first came here, boy, I was a duck out of water. Never forget, I came here the first time we took off. I passed the legendary Tony Stewart, right? Passed him, blew his doors off. I'm like, he ain't nothing. About 25, 30 laps later, he passed me, and not only did he pass me once, about 100 laps later, he lapped me. I learned right then and there the patience and the tire management of this racetrack, Kevin.
Well, I think as we go through today, I mean, you're going to see a lot of those cars that are running up front right now probably not finish there. I didn't have a lot of great days here. I had some good days here. Was able to find victory lane one time, and I didn't have Cash running down the front straightaway. I had Dale Jr. fans waiting at my front gate, wanting to tell me how terrible I was for passing Dale at the end of that race. So, it's a great racetrack, great facility. Just takes a unique style, and I think that my temper probably got in my way as many times here as anything.
Maybe frustration set in
a little bit.
I want to ask you this: who did you pick to win this race today?
I picked Denny Hamlin.
You did pick Denny Hamlin, and I think Denny Hamlin was a really good pick for you.
Our director Artie Kempner says he picked you in this race.
Well, he should have, because that hot rod was fast that weekend. Believe it or not, I think didn't it snow? There was some crazy stuff. But looking back at those cars, seeing how low the noses are to the ground, just a fast car that you know what it takes to get here. We were teammates, and I heard you say this earlier yesterday, as a matter of fact. Stuart Haas, we had good cars there, and Custer has a good car this weekend, or had a good car that they brought, and I think that all cascades down, and it still lives to this day. Had a good setup for this place.
All right, so this will be a little different restart with Christopher Bell on the outside of the front row.
No.
Chastain's choosing the inside.
Speaking of trends, sorry, Larry, didn't mean to leave you out of that conversation.
No, Mike, the 6 races
a
with the
Joe
10-7
Gibbs
car
front
here.
row.
The average of the last caution is actually 60 laps to go, but we've had 2 overtime finishes, including this race a year ago. In fact, spring race.
Yeah, it's the Larson, man.
Larson, it's Briscoe.
All right, now Joey Logano, who got spun, will restart 25th.
I don't know.
And up front, Hamlin, Wallace, and Bell. Hamlin and Bell on the front row. Wallace in row 2 with the Chevy of Larson. Chevy Toyota third row, Elliott and Briscoe. And the first Ford is going to be Ryan Preece with Todd Gilliland. 9th and 10th. Here we go.
The Todd father is in the top 10.
Well, we see Christopher Bell launch right with that 11 car, where we've been comparing Bubba Wallace to the 11 and hadn't been doing as good a job.
Oh God, here comes the Hendrick terrorists.
Here comes Bell on the outside.
Yeah, he doesn't want to drop in for second place. He wants
Bell.
the lead.
Trying to get in position on him. Then he pulls him up the hill a little bit. That position means you need to kind of have your left front above his right front. Turn him down the hill. Take the exit away, Kevin.
Yeah, and if you can do that right, you want to be the one knocking that right front down the racetrack on the 11 car if you're the 20 on the exit. But Denny's doing a great job of kind of feeding that right front tire into his door early in the corners so that he can't pin him down on the exit.
Bubba locked it up, getting into 3 and almost driving into the back of him there.
Oh, go away, Larson.
Front 6 single file. The first side-by-side is Chase Briscoe on the outside of Ryan Preece. That's for 7. Hocevar up the hill, back mid-pack along with Keselowski, but they sort that all out.
Well, both of these guys right here, Chase Briscoe and Ryan Preece, have done a great job this year with new teams. Ryan Preece, as you said a little bit ago, going for his 3rd straight top 10. So great performance at the finish of these races for that 60 and the 19 last week.
Here's that group that was all dusted up in back, but now they're kind of playing nice, all too wide. At the front end of that is Zane Smith, who got caught up in one of the wrecks earlier, not of his own making, and he is going to clear Austin Dillon there. Michael McDowell battling the car he used to drive, now driven by Todd Gilliland. That's for 9th place.
Yeah, and you see right at
Come
the
on,
back of the
Todd.
screen right here, you see the 54 has caught the 45, and I'm
Give me a break, dude. Come
Dude,
on.
not joking, Reddick. Choke his ass, Reddick.
with him on the radio, so he definitely let him know right there that
Reddick gave him plenty of room, didn't he?
Yeah, he was still
Reddick
not
gave
happy.
you room. Give me a break.
Joke him, Reddick.
This has been
Choke his
back
ass.
here for a while. Ever since the rag fell, they cannot get it sorted out.
Go, Todd.
They're out of
Go,
time.
Todd. Let's go, Todd Gilliland. Let's go.
Got to find some track position.
Gilliland in 9th place, puts McDowell 10th, and Blaney just outside the top 10, and Kyle Busch. Hamlin only 2 car lengths on Christopher Bell. He is not driving away.
New approach. Denny told us about it. Wanted to come here with a different setup. Tired of second and thirds. I think it helps everybody at Gibbs. All those cars were faster.
They have all been fast today, and Denny Hamlin has done a great job of keeping control of this race today and being in control of these races and getting the good restarts and maintaining that control. Definitely is playing to his benefit today. So he's been able to manage.
Who do you have? Who's he got on his bench then?
Well, it's been a decade since
bruh.
Today is the most laps in a race Denny Hamlin has led in this 7th generation car.
It's unbelievable to think about a decade and Denny Hamlin not winning at Martinsville with all the success that he has had here.
2,500 laps and counting.
Dude, Denny's led the most laps all day.
He's now led more than half of this race. He's led over 200.
Come back, Denny Hamlin's the catch fence.
Chase Elliott, who's led.
Denny's dead. Oh shit.
Blows a tire.
As Denny Hamlin has led today, I would think that Progressive is probably going to think that they made a great buy on that car. What do you think, Clint?
Timing's everything.
Well, they're on there for what,
this
18
second
races?
This is their second race.
Yeah. There's the lap leaders today. And that is all of them. Only 6 drivers have led today. We've had 9 lead changes and 10 caution flags, which is a record for a 400 lap race here. Kyle Busch is making some noise. He and Ty Gibbs have been battling back and forth. Here's a look at it. Tyler Reddick is still hanging pretty close with them.
Well, Kyle had some decent track position to start this race, and they had some trouble on pit road, and that's really been something that we say more than we want to say with that 8.
Grandpa's money.
Not had a mistake or
Grandpa's money.
And kept that track position. I mean, he's got a better car and has been working his way back forward.
Now you're battling with the washed freaking 90-year-old.
Reddick probably doesn't want to complete this pass.
Mild thing.
The next one is going to be the 54 car, and that one will probably be a lot more interesting than getting around the 8. Took the exit away, got him loose.
Now they're double wide behind them. A.J. Allmendinger and then Hocevar and Zane Smith side by side. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell has caught Denny Hamlin.
And that's what happens in a lot of these races at Martinsville. You get towards the end of the race, and all of a sudden,
junk his ass.
You hadn't kept up with the racetrack, or the racetrack goes through a swing that you hadn't seen all day, and somebody gets hot.
Oh, hi, Eric Almirola.
And their car starts to handle better and have had to work on their
Almirola is just chilling.
Think about that first run, Clint. We saw Christopher Bell going backwards. Now, getting later in the afternoon, and here we are. Christopher Bell
was like
driving
up-dog
right
in here.
back to the 11 car.
Very easy to get complacent here. I love what your comment there was, but reminiscent of that last run, the 9 car drove to him, and eventually Denny Hamlin wore him out. Be careful if you're Christopher Bell to fall right back into that trap. So you can drive to them, but that Denny Hamlin's car and his ability, his experience to save his tires and take care of them prevails on a long run.
7 laps down.
You know, the last time Denny won here, 4 of our Fox announcers were in that race. Regan Smith finished 16th, Clint finished 13th, Jamie McMurray was 10th, Kevin Harvick was 8th. Danica beat all of you guys, 7th. Oh, man. Russell wrote that. He just asked me to say it.
Danica always ran really well here.
Yep. True.
Bet she never won her.
It was also Chase Elliott's debut in the Cup Series. He got a lap or 2 down early, had some kind of difficulty, and they used the whole rest of the race as a test session. Kept coming in, changing things, trying to make him comfortable. And obviously that plan worked out pretty well in the long term. Byron, it's like he's been coming from the back of the field all day, time after time after time. Now he busts into the top 20. This pass on Joey Logano will put Byron in 18th if he completes it.
We still have like 70
laps to go. Oh, it's 220. I thought it was 200. Never mind. Yeah, we
were talking about this on the way over from pre-race today. We didn't talk about him the whole time in pre-race. We said, you know what, today might be the day that William sneaks up on us because we haven't said a word, but obviously hasn't had everything that he's needed to go his way today. Another car that had some trouble on pit road, got back in the traffic, and has really never been able to break free and work their way forward.
Well, I think those cautions determined that a little bit for him. I mean, it just didn't fall his way, much like you just said, just didn't go his way, right? And once or twice you get behind the 8 ball, next thing you know, you're way behind. And that's exactly what happened to William Byron.
Third looking back at 4th place, Wallace and Elliott. Meanwhile, Blaney has worked his way up into the top 10.
Chase, please don't wreck Bubba.
When Blaney won here last fall, he didn't start up front, but boy, he was passing cars. In fact, for about the first half of that race, he was the only driver who was consistently moving forward through the field. Taken a long time to get there today after starting 32nd. But here's Blaney in the top 10.
I want to just ride here. I'm watching Chase Elliott. I'm watching Bubba Wallace. I'm watching Bell as Bell looks to the outside and cross over to the leader of Hamlin. But I want to ride. What I mean by that is I'm waiting on the leader. I want to save my tires and wait on Denny Hamlin to catch these leaders, or excuse me, lap cars, and then pounce on him. When he starts to get there, you have to apply more brake. You're harder on your equipment. Trying to pass those cars is harder for that leader. But Bell's not going to wait. He's there and he's trying.
So you can see it's almost a straightaway to the lappers. And John Hunter Nemechek right now, the last car on the lead lap in 26th. Jamie?
Well, Denny Hamlin in the start to this year, you know, he's had some adjusting to do.
Oh, boy.
His new crew chief, Chris Scale, on top of the box. Chris, of course, was with Ty Gibbs the last few years, but they got paired up. And yes, they ran a couple Xfinity races together back in the day, but it's been hit or miss so far for them. They finished 20th and they finished top 10. 20th, top 10. Last week, their best effort. I walked up in the holler this morning, talked to his crew chief, Chris. He goes, oh, I'm well aware that my driver has not won here in 10 years. We're going to try to change that. They've really focused on the long run speed of this car, Mike, but he has had about 0 complaints, very little of anything wrong with this car today.
That's right, not much to complain about. No. There's a lot of...
He's had a great drive.
Clean
and I'm sure
in front of you.
Chris Gabehart was an incredible leader. I mean, it must have been quite an adjustment for Denny Hamlin to have a new crew chief with Gabehart moving into a management role at Joe Gibbs Racing this season.
Yeah,
Gabehart.
I don't know that was Denny's call, right? So I'm sure a little bit of nerve-wracking situation there, not knowing exactly what you're going to have, but turns out doing just fine. He told us in the pre-race pretty happy and confident with what he's seen so far, Kev.
16th here.
Yeah, you see Kyle Busch up on the outside of Joey Logano right there, and we saw this earlier in the race. Kyle would move up to that second groove, and right now it looks like Joey's gonna get the pass done. Joey's got a little bit fresher tires than Kyle. I forgot about that part.
Chase Elliott's spotter tells him
Yeah, Joey stopped at lap 320. Busch lap 279 along with most of the field.
Well, this is where we saw Denny Hamlin drive away last time, Clint, from the 9 car of Chase Elliott. When he started to catch lap traffic, we see a couple of lap cars that we've had to work through right now. Can he do the same thing to Christopher Bell as we're going through traffic?
And I think that answer is yes. And I would say I dictate that answer, or me saying that, my comment
Just jinx it,
is
Seth. Now we're going to have like 50 cautions.
Tires. He's really not slipping around. You know, I'm watching Bell push pretty hard behind him. He slips some tires, getting into the corner, up off the corner, trying to run him down.
If Austin Hill can do it, so
whereas Denny is just kind of cruising out there. So when they get in lap traffic and he's got a call on him a little bit, it doesn't hurt his tires and affect it quite as much. He's got a little reserve built in the tank.
So you think that the 11 car is actually pacing himself, saving his tires?
I've watched it on the lap times. Bell will catch him at a flat. Denny Hamlin will be like a 08 or something, and then the next lap around, Hamlin will be at a 95 at his 12. He's keeping him right where he wants him.
So they pass Casey Mears here and Cody Ware, but it's going to be a while before they get to lead lap cars, almost a straightaway ahead.
There you go. You can see the lap times right here. Just keep an eye on those. And as Denny catches it, well, I mean, they both in clean air right now, not a lapper, but as they catch them guys, that's, in my opinion, who can get through traffic is always who's going to win this race.
Well, look right there. We passed 2 cars, and what was a 1 or 2 car length lead is now 4 or 5.
Timing is everything, though. As your leader, as you catch those lappers, you know they're coming, and try to time that where you catch them in the right place where it doesn't slow you down. We have to hit the brakes or hinder your line one bit.
Larry, what's caught your eye about Denny Hamlin's drive here?
I've been watching this for about the last 6 to 8 laps, and Denny just picks the throttle up later than Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace. He lets the car roll. He can be more distinct with the throttle because he's waiting on it a little bit.
Patience.
So hard.
Well, that's what I was talking about, is just being easy on those tires. As you let it roll around that corner more and more, less brake getting in and let it roll around there. Now you're not asking as much out of it, trying to pull that boat out of the hole, if you will. It's just way easier on the tires because you're out front and can do that.
That's a hard thing to do, and that was one thing that I always struggled with here at Martinsville, was being able to let that car roll just a beat past the center of the corner and be able to apply the throttle. I always wanted to roll the center fast, apply partial throttle, and that really tears the back tires up as the car is wanting to drive off the right rear tire and rotate. Letting that car roll past the center and get to that throttle, let the car get pointed, and driving that car off consistently straighter and straighter just allows you to save those tires.
But when you do that, you have to change something, and your roll speed is what you change. Your roll speed in and through the center over to about that 5/8 mark of the corner is where you have to roll faster around the corner, because you're not picking the gas up as soon as you were, so something has to give. Pick up your speed and find it in the first half, give up a little bit on the exit where you're not so hard on the tires trying to spin.
So we're 35 laps to go. You've got what you've got. What does Christopher Bell have that he can use to apply to Denny Hamlin? I mean, what can he do differently from what he's doing right now?
Exactly what he's doing. Be patient. That's what I said about 10 laps ago. I want to ride here. I'm watching the lap times. You're not going anywhere. When you get into lap traffic, eventually that lap traffic's going to be door to door. Won't be anywhere for Denny to go. That's when you got to be ready, and your tires have to be ready. Still have to have something in the tank to pounce on him if that opportunity presents itself.
And search around the racetrack, right?
Yep.
A little bit on the bottom, wrapping the curb. Little diamond, move.
It's gotten pretty fucking dark outside.
While you've got some space, try not to lose any time and see if you can find something that'll wake your car up.
We're about to get some company.
Larry, 32 laps to go. What do you got left in your playbook?
Well, I know what these crew chiefs are doing down there, Mike. They are thinking about what if that caution comes out. Remember, with a tire that didn't have as much give up as this tire has 1 year ago, 90 laps on their tires, the caution came out to put us into overtime. We only had 13 drivers on the lead lap. The top 9 stayed out, but we did have some get 4 tires. But this is a tire.
Severe thunderstorm warning just hit for Adrian, Michigan.
They're working through all the what-if situations.
And Larry, we've watched this year. It isn't going to be an easy answer. If this caution comes out, it'll be at the worst possible case scenario.
Dutch, I hear you, dude. Give me a second.
Yep, 26 cars on the lead lap.
Watch the Cubs hit one more.
We've
So
seen
for this commercial, I'll take you out. Jesus Christ.
for some of these guys as you've gone through the day. But the
Especially before that storm hits, because I know you can get off the porch.
Laps on this run than when some of those guys put 2 tires on and no tires. So you just never know. Some people are willing to gamble more than others, but if you're in the way, you're going to be in big trouble with old tires.
Yeah, this is almost a 100-lap run right now. Now here's Denny Hamlin closing in on the last car on the lead lap. That's John Hunter Nemechek in the 42.
Buddy.
Hello, governors.
Hello, Chris.
Not going to make it easy on the leader, is he?
No, you want to do everything you can to keep yourself on.
All right, switching to Dookie quality.
Something to race for.
Taking the Dutch out for the.
You don't want to be the guy that does something to the leader that causes him to have trouble, but you got to race as hard as you can.
You guys think Hamlin's gonna win it?
He's got the car to. He's got the car to win it.
Using a lap car as a pick.
Come on, Dutch, go inside.
So for a while as Nemechek battles. 26 laps to go. He's in 26th place. All 38 starters are running. And if we complete it this way, it'll be the first time.
I grew up a Gordon fan, so I do like Willie B, but I like Christopher Bell too because I was a Matt Kenseth fan also. Yeah, I would have to say I root for Willie B for sure.
Because the Penske team is out of batteries.
Yeah, fuck Ty Gibbs. Oh yeah.
Bro, he's mad at Reddick for something that Austin Dillon did. I'm irritated.
What happened? What?
That's a first for me. I've been around this a long time and never parking it because we're out of batteries.
I mean, that looked like a proprietary lithium-ion battery in the connector. That may not be shared. It's not like you can just go down.
Oh, what the fuck?
Auto Parts and get one.
So what you're saying
What
is
the
you can't put it on you can't put it on trickle charge and get it charged fast enough.
You can't go to Menards and buy another one.
Yeah, what the hell? So Austin Dillon caused it though?
So then on this restart, Ty Gibbs shoved Reddick really
23 to go.
So that's why Reddick.
Denny Hamlin's really starting to stretch it out.
Are you a Reddick fan?
Go back.
Oh yeah. So I like Reddick too. I was gonna say I like 23XI. And when I went to MIS for the first time ever last year, I mean, I didn't see Reddick win it the following day, but I had good feelings about him in that McDonald's car. So dude, yeah, I wish they would have finished racing on that Sunday, but that fucking rain. But yeah, I've always liked Tyler Reddick too because of his fucking ability to stay in the top 5 and then at the end get a photo finish win.
Yeah, I wish Reddick would have stayed at Chevy, like a Chevy team, because he was going to be my guy when Austin Dillon hung up the
cars more than a lap down.
Hook it up, and then he said, "I'm going to Toyota."
Don't let Logano do that to you. Come on.
As he works through the lappers here.
How good do you think Bubba's chances are, Bell's chances are of catching Hamlin?
William Byron, Daniel Suarez back about 21st, 22nd, and they're half a straightaway ahead of him right now.
And as a driver, in Denny Hamlin's position, you just know you're kicking their butt right now.
Damn.
You're working your way through traffic. You're in a rhythm. And the only thing that you can think about is,
okay,
I hope a caution does not come out.
Okay, so you're thinking with the lap traffic that Hamlin may slow down a little bit, and okay.
Take a peek at the lap count so you can figure it out. Because you don't want your guys on the pit box. You're nervous about
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say everybody on the end of their lead lap, like they have the right to fight to stay on that lead lap, no matter what.
Back in the day before they built grandstands in 3 and 4, that scoreboard sat right in turn 3, and so going down the back.
Come on, race him.
You couldn't ignore it. And you knew how many laps were led all the time.
It was that way at Bristol too, when they put that new pylon, you know, the big jumbotron in the center.
Damn.
They got rid of that old school lap count.
We're gonna need a caution for anybody to have a chance, but then he'll probably jump the restart like he's been watching 3 times.
I was gonna say, how have the restarts been? Denny jumping them?
He looked. It's
I know
close.
where every scoreboard and lap counter was at every racetrack because you didn't want the team to think that you were worried about how many laps were left or what was going on.
Riley Herbst, Justin.
The only track that still has a scoreboard like that is they put one up just like the old one at North Wilkesboro.
Nobody's catching him.
In turn 3.
Is Casey Mears an old guy, or does he have family that raced in NASCAR before?
He raced for Hendrick.
There is the gap with some traffic ahead to deal with. 16 to go.
I was just gonna say the mid thousands, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, the biggest thing that they're telling Denny Hamlin, not so much how many laps to go, how many lap cars are between he and Christopher Bell.
Oh yeah, so he's just racing a one-off because it's Martinsville.
That number right now is 3
and growing. Denny Hamlin has stretched it out.
Hell yeah, like Kimi Räikkönen that races Watkins Glen every year. I love that. Or at least the past couple years, I thought.
All right, back to good quality.
Right there, and they're going to get into the thick.
Yeah, Griffin, I have Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I fucking love that game so far.
What I was just describing in
It's a good
making
game.
pass when you charge in and
I haven't played it in a while.
through the center fast.
Dude, I love how I was like playing it the other day, and I have the silenced MP5, and I was like, dude, this silenced MP5, it reminds me of playing Call of Duty 4, and then I was like, the only thing I need is the M40A3 sniper rifle. First sniper rifle I get, M40A5.
Starting to
Hell
dump in
yeah.
the corner, going to
I was-
cross back over, and he's going to beat him up off the corner on the exit.
Damn, they're down two and a half seconds now. Shit.
So now 4 lapped cars separate 1 and 2, and there goes Burt Myers back to 3, and now it will be 2 as they pass the 35.
Do you think Hamlin's gonna go and do all of this season just to not win another championship?
Absolutely.
Bell blocked him.
Hell yeah.
Showed a lot of poise right there, a lot of patience. He could have moved him out of the way.
Really catastrophic needs to happen.
Chase Elliott is catching Bubba Wallace.
3-second lead.
The lead may not be in doubt.
I mean, a caution would call out a restart, right?
Yep, caution would come out. That would ruin Hamlin's chances. Hamlin would need to do something.
All that ebb and flow of traffic and how,
Well, he jumped
it gets
the
and
restart.
how long it takes you to get by. And when Christopher Bell is having trouble,
Yeah, that's 3 seconds to Bell already almost. Damn. Last I looked, he was like 1.6 down, but that was before the lap traffic.
Listen, if it finishes like it does, my fantasy team will love it, so I honestly wouldn't be mad about it just staying green again this race over.
I feel so bad. 3 of them in a row. Then Briscoe, Gilliland, and Blaney.
Damn.
Dude, I told him to start Priest over fucking Cindric. I said, if you ever have one where it's like both guys are close together, you always pick your favorite driver. And he was like, I'm going to pick Cindric. Bubba just like threw some shrapnel off the back there. Debris caution! Debris caution!
Yeah, for real.
That's a great run ability
inside the car.
Yeah, love it.
Second place.
And the storms are here.
Haley to the outside, a lap car.
Oh, you live up in Adrian too? Yeah, I was gonna say that I sent Griffin a message. I've been watching the radar, and I'm looking at it right now. Let's refresh it real quick.
The Gator. Yeah, my weather channel just popped up about 10 minutes ago saying severe thunderstorm warning, and then my brain's not
This is
working.
definitely the longest run of the race that we've had so far. So these guys are.
It does look like
I just got a rain alert.
I was gonna say it does look like that storm system that had a tornado warning in Indiana and Angola. That one is moving north of you guys, like that cell is. But I would say it's maybe like 10 minutes out, like the starting of the rain band.
For Denny Hamlin on Christopher Bell. There's the lead, and
Holy shit, yeah, 3.5. Holy shit. Come on, Christopher Bell, where's all that start of the season magic you had?
Well, Denny's put a straightaway on him, and when we go back and talk about Denny Hamlin and
Is this Hamlin's home track or no?
The competition director and
Richmond, that's right.
over to be Denny's crew chief.
Is that a short track also?
Denny Hamlin
Shorter.
doesn't
Yeah,
get
okay.
enough credit for how good he is in this race car, but he is obviously a leader of this team and being able to work with these guys to put themselves in a position to go out and get better every week, come to a racetrack where we expect these guys in the 11 car to run well, but they brought a new setup. They wanted to make their car better and put themselves in a position to go out and figure out if they could do this and dominate.
a lot of nervous energy up on that pit box. 3 laps to go. Joe Gibbs Racing has 1-1-2 finish here.
He knows it too. Look at him.
It came
go.
15 years ago when Hamlin finished first and Logano second. 2 to go.
Smooth sailing.
Just bring the car home.
Bring it home here.
4.4 second
Well,
lead
The
for
white
him.
flag cannot come out fast enough.
Yeah, and Denny has just done a great job all day, putting himself in a position to keep control of this race and take this white flag as the biggest relief he's seen all day.
And keep an eye on second, third, and fourth. Not quite close enough to contend. Bell, Wallace, Elliott separated a little bit apart. Here comes Hamlin.
It's been a decade.
Damn.
Yep, the short
Out of
track
400. Holy
Chesterfield,
shit.
Virginia. Denny Hamlin delivers. He comes off turn 4 and wins the Cookout
Denny
400.
Hamlin, first win of the
His
year.
55th career victory.
Good job.
Christopher Bell, Bubba
Way to
Wallace,
go, Chris Gale.
Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, the top 5.
Great job, man. Great job. Put on a class there at the end, taking care of those tires.
Yes,
I mean, for Christopher Bell for the championship standings, that's pretty damn good for him.
Rusty Wallace for 11th on the all-time
Oh shit, that's right, yeah.
series win list. He's the 5th different driver to go to victory lane this year.
Hard to believe.
Damn, that's okay. I liked Rusty Wallace. I just liked his advertising when I was a kid.
Gen 7 no more. This is the one that it was elusive to him, is winning in this race car at this track. Got it. Dominant fashion.
It's Hamlin's 15th career short track win, and that is second among active drivers.
Bubba Wallace, another great day for that 23 car. Continues to impress. Elliott, strong finish.
Toyota 1-2-3, Chevy 4-5-6. Ryan Preece is the first Ford in 7th.
Denny's
And
last
finally,
win was
Joey
about a year
Logano
ago.
gets a top 10.
How about that?
First one of the year.
He made some great ground there at the end of the race as you see
Damn.
Hamlin start to burn the back tires off of this progressive Camry.
Great top 10 for Todd Gill, and Ryan Preece can't say enough about him and that new opportunity.
Let's go, dude. That's a good day for dude. 3rd, 6th, and 9th. 3, 6, 9 for the Hail Melon and the Funky Bunch.
3 Chevys, 3 Fords in the top 10.
But I think 12. I think I got 12 bonus points too.
That's the best place to burn it down.
He's doing the Kyle Larson burnout.
They're already paid for you, so you might as well get your money's worth.
It's the 15th Martinsville win for Joe Gibbs Racing. 3rd on the all-time list behind Hendrick Motorsports and Petty Enterprises.
That's
I swear to God, if you get out of that car,
at least that's an awesome burnout, Kevin. So there, get out of the way, get the sweep truck out of the way. You might make a lap.
They told him, don't hit the stage. You're going to need to climb up on that in a minute.
Kyle Larson did this a few years ago here. I think he's going to make it, Kevin. That's how much tire he saved. Can he do a lap?
Not quite, but far enough.
What's up, Sid? Sure.
Yep, here we go. Here we go.
There'll be a
Here we
discussion
go.
here.
Please don't fight him. Be civil about it, please.
Tyler Reddick and Ty Gibbs had a lot of contact during today's race.
Nice.
Thank you. Please be civil about it.
But you know, you got to work that out because you got to race them next week.
Gibbs, it was a misunderstanding.
I watched that back, thought about it. I don't think it was definitely wasn't on purpose. He just
Bubba got me fantasy
ran him down very
points.
fast, kind of in your lap and got into him and wrecked him. But it doesn't make you feel any better. You got wrecked, you got spun out. You're still going to be bummed. Thumbs up's probably all you're going to get out of me. I'm going to the house.
Yeah.
Talk to you Monday.
Reddick just fucking cold clocks him.
At least he went over there and
Reddick walked up to his
handled
car.
They both go jump Austin Dillon.
Let's go get him.
Denny
Let's go
Hamlin
fight him, bro. Let's go get him.
to make Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace
fire
23-11.
There's a fire. The brake pads are on fire.
Rubber fire probably underneath the fender wells. It's been a long time since you've seen that much rubber build up on the sides of these race cars. I like this soft tire.
Hendrick Motorsports favored here, ends up 4th and 5th with Elliott and Larson.
Maybe put the fire out, Kev.
Ross Chastain 6th.
I would definitely tell somebody that it's on fire.
3rd, 6th, and 9th for Hail Melon and the Funky Bunch.
Those people that are mad in the stands, I can tell you that right now.
I mean, I'm mad about it because fuck Denny Hamlin, but my fantasy team actually had a good day. So, oh my god, that's so gay. That's so fucking gay. That is the gayest shit I've ever.
Is
Fucking
that a shirt that he's wearing?
fucking homo. He's such a queer. I hate this motherfucker. Look at how douchey he is.
Applause. People are happy for Denny Hamlin. What
He looks like he can't be within 500 yards of schools.
It's been 10 years since you've been to Victory Lane here at Martinsville. How were you able to come back?
He looks like a sleazy car salesman.
You know,
True that.
Chris Gale, all the engineers, the pit crew, everybody really.
He really does, dude. He looks like he wants to sell you a Tacoma for $120,000.
Than what we've been over the last few years.
2003.
Amazing. The car was great.
His daughter.
Yeah, 2003 Tacoma for $120K.
Just so happy to win with Chris and get 55. It's awesome.
How about Chris Gale? You had the same crew chief and Chris Gabehart for so many years, Denny. Making that transition, how have you guys been able to figure it out as quickly as you have?
Yeah, I mean, he's been, such a soldier to come in here to this 11 team and, kind of learn our style. And then over the last few weeks, just putting his final touches on it. It's really been a great mesh. Our relationship's getting better and just, man, really happy to get a win with him. And obviously back here in Martinsville where I spent so many years racing late models and whatnot, it's, gosh, I love winning here.
Denny, you got out of your car and you held up that flag and it says 11 against the world. What is that all about?
Well, my buddies, my Ohio State fans that I hung out with at the end of last year, we always had the Ohio State against the world, so now it's 11 against the world.
There you go. Denny Hamlin.
I hate this motherfucker. I hate him. I fucking hate him.
Well, Christopher Bell comes home in second place today after starting on the pole. Nearly a complete weekend, Christopher Bell. It was seemed like it was really good until the end of that long run. Maybe just lacked a little on long run speed.
Yeah, I don't know. We were back and forth on balance a little bit, and I asked to be freer throughout the whole race. And then that last run, I just went a little bit too loose and lost my drive off. So,
another good day.
It was a great weekend for Joe Gibbs Racing. Obviously, showed a lot of pace. All four of the cars were really good. Really happy to kind of get back
Auburn
up
and
front. The
Michigan
last 2 weeks have been rough
State
for this
real
20
quick
team.
while the
So
Cubs are on commercial.
proud of all of our partners at DeWalt, Toyota, Joe Gibbs Racing, and
Chris
really happy
Curious
for Denny.
and college hoops.
Yeah, he's the Martinsville Master. So
Oh, Michigan State game's still on. Yeah, that's right.
Mentioned,
I got a parlay on it.
Good day and everything like that. This is
on Auburn.
race as we get further into the season, so
I am close to hitting on it though. I need 8 more points from like Cadwell something. I need 4 more points from their best scorer and 1 more assist from
pretty far back behind Denny, but
one of their like their 6 man.
Qualifying really good was a big part of our.
My Cubs one is
hopefully we can come back a little bit better in the fall and
I don't know if it's gonna actually or not.
Everyone executed really well.
I need Nico Horner to get a double.
The car was
I need to tell Marte to get at least a base hit. Just walk twice. Back to back at bats.
We did the details right, and we came home second.
Nice run, thanks.
Joe Gibbs gets a 1-2 finish at Martinsville, winning the Cookout 400. Here is a look at today's big.
Yeah, Jackson has a tornado warning now.
And it is Denny Hamlin's pass.
Yeah, up by Jackson and Eaton Rapids and
So live in Eaton Rapids.
It looks like it's just north of Jackson is where the rotation is. But that looks like it was the same cell that had a tornado warning for Angola, Indiana, not that like about a half hour ago, if not longer.
And let's join Regan with the third place finisher.
Bubbles continuing to stack good runs together. Bubba, this team has a lot of momentum going right now. Seems like you're just continuing to improve and improve right now.
So he's up there in the standings right now then, huh?
Working up in there. A good day, nonetheless. I'm just trying to scratch my head on what I could have done different. My restarts were terrible, and it's one of my best traits. So
Bubba scored 34 points in the finishing position. Ross got me 31, and Todd got me 28. That's a huge fantasy points day, plus the 12 extra from the stages or from stage 2. That's a fucking huge.
But all in all, hell of a day for Toyota. Top 3. That's nice. So we'll keep the momentum.
Oh, those don't go to my total.
Having fun. It's fun to have fun.
It's always good to have fun.
Yeah. So So let me do my math here real
today,
quick.
brought it home fourth. Good effort, considering I know a lot of people are
Hmm.
looking at you maybe to win this thing.
I'm just giving myself an like a rough estimate of where I'm gonna be around. Oh, you got a Panda?
Yeah, thought our car was really good, honestly. Thought everybody on our Napa team did a good job yesterday, leading into the weekend, and then certainly, getting this thing where it needed to be, I thought, for a balance, for today. So
That's a 105
yeah, all that was really
point
good.
day.
Just
If I
needed
was
control
accurate.
of the race. I really needed to get to Denny there at the end of that second stage and try to get control.
Especially with me being back
I knew
284
the second half, everybody was gonna be
points.
better and closer, and just that little bit of being able to control this thing from that point forward means a lot. And unfortunately, I didn't do a great job getting to him. I was trying and just came up a few car lengths short. And yeah, just puts you in a tough spot trying to play catch up and whatnot. But yeah, it was a solid day. We
So far, it's been
solid, so
Dawson, Avery, and Bubs who have won.
Dawson.
Thanks, Jamie.
Avery.
Boy, Denny Hamlin's 55 wins have come with 7 different crew chiefs. And over the last decade, I think we've kind of had a chance to kind of go to sleep on how really good Denny Hamlin is at this racetrack.
Well, he's really good at this.
No, I need Pettiford to assist. I don't need him to score.
Crew chief and be that leader to help progress.